Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving deep into the world of popular games today.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, we're not just playing them though. We're going beyond that, figuring out what makes them tick, how they've become these like cultural icons.
Right?
So we're talking big names: Grand Theft Auto, Minecraft, Fortnite,
Of
The
course.
Witcher 3, and Call of Duty. I mean, games everyone's heard of, but
Yeah.
we're going to like really unpack what makes them matter.
Yeah, I think it's amazing to see how these games have gone beyond just entertainment. They've created these whole communities, shaped, trends in game design. They've even sparked real-world trends, which is
Oh,
crazy.
sure. And we're going to get into all of that. But first up, let's cruise into the world of Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
GTA, right?
Classic.
You've probably seen those like crazy lifelike cities in GTA V, but the series actually started way back in 1997,
Oh, wow.
and it
Yeah.
was much more pixelated back then. So how did it evolve from those humble beginnings to become like the open world giant it is now?
Well, one key thing about GTA's success is that open world design. And it wasn't just about giving players a big map to run around in. It was about making a world that felt truly alive, a world that responded to your actions.
Interesting.
So GTA gave you that freedom to steal cars, cause mayhem, even just chill and explore. But what people often miss is how they wove that freedom with surprisingly deep storytelling.
That's true. Like take GTA V, for example. You're not just running around doing whatever. You're actually experiencing this story through the eyes of three different characters. Each one is navigating the underbelly of the American dream in their own way. It's like high-octane action, but with social commentary, too, all wrapped up in this incredibly detailed and interactive world. But then GTA Online came along, and that took this whole idea of freedom and interaction to a whole new level, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. GTA Online became this phenomenon. Think about it. You can cruise around with your friends, you can plan heists, run businesses together, and Rockstar, the company behind GTA, they keep it fresh with all these updates, new missions, vehicles, even new areas to explore. So it's like this constant evolution that keeps people engaged even years after the game came out.
That's so true. It's like GTA Online created its own virtual society.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's switch gears completely now. Let's enter the world of Minecraft. It's one of the best-selling games ever, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And it might seem surprising at first glance, right? It's all about blocks. Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah, you actually hit the nail on the head there. L.I. says about blocks, but that's where the genius is. Minecraft's power is in its simplicity. It gives you the tools and then steps back. It doesn't force you through some story. It lets you create your own world, brick by digital brick.
It's like a digital Lego set with infinite possibilities. I've seen people build everything from simple houses to replicas of famous landmarks, even like working calculators in the game. It's crazy. The graphics might look simple, but the creative potential is just mind-blowing.
Mm.
What keeps people coming back to Minecraft for over a decade, though?
Well, for one thing, it's constantly evolving. Mojang Studios, the developer, they're always adding new features, new blocks, creatures, you name it. But beyond that, it's the community. You've got players making and sharing their own mods, custom maps, even elaborate adventures within the game. It becomes a platform for collaboration and sharing, which makes it appealing to way more people.
That's true. It's not just about building stuff. It's about sharing your creations with others and being part of that whole community. Speaking of communities, let's move to a game that, completely took over the gaming world when it came out. Fortnite. How did a free-to-play battle royale game become so massively popular so quickly?
Well, Fortnite was this perfect storm of clever design and smart marketing. The core idea is simple. 100 players drop onto an island. They scavenge for weapons, resources, and fight until only one player or team is left. But what really set Fortnite apart was the building mechanic. That changed everything for the battle royale genre.
Yeah, it's not just running and gunning. Players actually gather resources and use them to build walls, ramps, whole structures. And they're doing this on the fly. So it adds this whole strategic layer that no other battle royale game had. You can build cover, create advantages, even outmaneuver opponents just by building.
Yeah.
But Fortnite's popularity goes way beyond just the gameplay, right?
Oh, for sure. It became more than just a game. It became a pop culture phenomenon. Think about the dances that went viral, the in-game concerts, the crossovers with Marvel and Star Wars. These events weren't just fun additions. They were strategic moves to turn Fortnite into a social space, a platform for shared experiences, a cultural touchstone even.
It's like Fortnite tapped into something unique about how people connect online. It wasn't just about winning. It was about being part of something bigger. sharing those experiences with your friends, even expressing yourself through those crazy dances and emotes.
And you can't forget about the constant evolution. Epic Games, the developer, they roll out new seasons all the time. Map changes, new weapons, new mechanics. It keeps the game fresh and gives players a reason to keep coming back. It creates a constant buzz.
It's crazy how they keep it fresh after all these years. But okay, let's move from the fast-paced world of Fortnite to a game that's known for its depth and storytelling. The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt. Released in 2015, it's often called one of the greatest RPGs ever. What makes it stand out?
The Witcher 3, it's a masterclass in world building and storytelling. It just drops you into this rich fantasy world, full of complex characters, political intrigue, moral dilemmas. You play as Geralt of Rivia. He's a monster hunter for hire. And the choices you make throughout the game have real weight. They shape not only Geralt's fate, but the fate of the whole world. It's like stepping into a living novel where you control the main character.
That's amazing. They really packed so much depth into that game. You're not just following a set path. You're making choices that have ripple effects throughout the whole story. It's no wonder people praise the narrative and how emotionally powerful it is. It's more than a game, it's an experience.
Exactly. The Witcher 3 proved that games can be just as captivating and emotional as any book or movie, and its success really paved the way for other developers to focus on richer stories and giving players more control over how those stories unfold.
And to wrap up this first part of our deep dive, let's aim at a franchise that's like synonymous with first-person shooters. Call of Duty. Around since 2003, it's been a dominant force in the genre. What's the secret to its lasting appeal?
Well, Call of Duty succeeds because it delivers on two fronts: thrilling single-player campaigns and the incredibly addictive multiplayer.
Right.
From the early days focused on World War II to the modern settings, like in Modern Warfare, it consistently delivers intense action, memorable characters, and that level of polish it's known for.
Yeah, and the Modern Warfare series was a turning point. It took the franchise in this grittier, more realistic direction, and the storytelling was so cinematic it really drew players in. But then in 2020, they switched things up again with Warzone, bringing Battle Royale into the Call of Duty universe.
Warzone was a smart move. They took the fast-paced action and gunplay that Call of Duty is known for and adapted it to this huge, ever-changing Battle Royale world. It brought in tons of new players and kept Call of Duty at the top of the gaming world.
It's amazing how they've adapted and evolved. While still staying true to what fans love about the series, it shows they understand what makes a great shooter, and they keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Definitely. Call of Duty's legacy is huge, and its impact on the FPS genre, both single-player and multiplayer. It keeps shaping how we experience these types of games.
So there you have it. We've covered a lot of ground in this first part, exploring the worlds of GTA, Minecraft, Fortnite, The Witcher 3, and Call of Duty, figuring out why they matter. But this is just the beginning.
Yeah, in the next part, we'll dig even deeper, exploring what connects these games, what makes them stand out, and the huge impact they've had on our culture and society as a whole. Stay tuned.
Can't wait.
Welcome back to our deep dive into these awesome games.
Last time we really dug into what makes 5 gaming giants so special. Grand Theft Auto, Minecraft, Fortnite, The Witcher 3, and Call of Duty. That we found out why they're so captivating, why they resonate with millions of players. But now let's zoom out a bit, look at the bigger picture. What connects these games that seem so different on the surface? What are those core elements that make them so enduringly popular?
Great question. One major thing is the sense of agency they give you. They empower the player, you, to make choices that actually matter in the game world.
You're not just on rails following a script someone wrote. Think of the freedom in GTA. Choosing missions, crimes, how you spend your time in that city. Or Minecraft, literally building your own world, block by block.
Exactly. It's about giving players tools and then getting out of the way, letting them shape their experience. Even in Fortnite, where you're trying to survive, you're constantly making choices. Where to land, what weapons to use, how to use the environment to your advantage.
And that ties into something else. Creativity. These games aren't just about consuming content, they're about creating it.
Minecraft, prime example, of course. But even in GTA, Fortnite, you're expressing yourself through how you play, your character's look, even how you build those structures in Fortnite.
Like they tapped into that human need to create, to build, to leave your mark.
Yeah.
Even if it's a virtual world. And it's not just solo, it's about sharing those creations. Which brings us to community.
These games make you feel like you belong, like you're part of something. Joining a crew for heists in GTA Online, building huge things in Minecraft, celebrating a win in Fortnite with your squad. You connect with people who love what you love.
That social side makes it more than just sitting alone playing. It's a platform to interact, collaborate, make friends that even go beyond the game. And a big part of that is keeping things fresh, right?
Absolutely. Constant evolution. That's something they all share. They're not static. They're living worlds that are always being updated.
You always get new stuff in GTA Online. Missions, vehicles, new places to see. Minecraft gets new blocks, creatures, features, and Fortnite has those new seasons. With map changes, weapons, even how the game is played changes sometimes.
It keeps people hooked, gives them a reason to come back, see what's new, experience it with friends. It's a brilliant way to keep a game alive.
Not just adding stuff, though, it's about listening to players, refining the experience, making sure it's still exciting years after it came out.
Right, and we can't forget accessibility. These games are easy to pick up, even if you've never played them before.
Easy controls, simple mechanics, plenty of tutorials to help you out. So it appeals to a huge audience, from hardcore gamers to people just trying out gaming for the first time.
And once you're in, there's a depth that keeps you coming back. Whether you're casually playing some Fortnite or spending hours building in Minecraft, there's something for everyone.
That balance, being easy to learn but hard to master, that's what's so compelling. They work at different levels, for all sorts of players, but there's another thing we can't forget: spectacle.
These games are visually impressive, pushing what's possible with graphics and sound.
Think about those huge, realistic cities in GTA V, the massive player-made worlds of Minecraft, the crazy battlefields in Fortnite, the beautiful landscapes of The Witcher 3, and the cinematic action of Call of Duty.
They create moments that stay with you, moments you want to share, moments that fuel discussion and get people excited in those communities.
And with social media and streaming, that shareability is key. These games aren't just entertainment, they're cultural events.
Exactly, and that leads to cultural relevance. These games aren't just reflecting culture, they're shaping it.
Like how those Fortnite dances went viral. GTA characters became memes. Minecraft builds inspired real-world architecture.
They're in our language, our clothes, our jokes. They're starting conversations about social issues, representation, technology. They're more than just games. They're part of how we think now.
It's amazing how these virtual worlds bleed into the real one, influencing trends, causing debates, becoming part of our everyday talk. But that impact isn't always good, is it?
True. There are controversies, criticisms, worries about how these games affect us, especially younger people.
Right.
We see discussions about violence in GTA, addiction to Fortnite, even debates about whether some game mechanics are ethical.
It's messy, no easy answers. But it's a conversation we need to have. As games get more immersive, more influential, more a part of our lives, we have to examine how they affect us, both individually and as a society.
Finding balance, that's what it's about. Celebrating the good stuff, the creativity, the new ideas, but also recognizing the potential problems. Having real talks about responsible game development and how we play.
And realizing that these games are a mirror, showing us who we are, our culture, our choices. The future of gaming is up to us. We have to shape it responsibly. Okay, but let's shift gears a bit. Let's get into the specific innovations that made these games stand out.
Let's dive into those groundbreaking features, the design choices, the technology that pushed the limits of what games can do, and left a mark on the whole industry.
First up, back to Grand Theft Auto and its open-world design. It's everywhere in games now, but GTA was one of the first to really get it right.
What they did so well was make a world that felt alive, that reacted to you. It wasn't just about how big the map was. It was about how much there was to do in that world, how much you could experience.
Cruising down the highway, listening to the radio, exploring back alleys, stumbling onto random events, just hanging out on the beach, watching the sunset. It felt like a real place with its own life, its own rules.
And that freedom was revolutionary. It wasn't about following a set path. It was about making your own way, making your own stories in their sandbox.
But it wasn't just freedom. GTA pushed the boundaries of storytelling too. They weren't afraid of mature themes, of showing the dark side of society, using satire and humor to make comments about the world.
Like GTA V, with its 3 main characters, each one showing a different side of the American dream, or maybe the American nightmare. Their stories weave together, it's complex, makes you think, goes way beyond the usual good guys versus bad guys.
It shows how good Rockstar is at making stories that are both entertaining and thought-provoking. And they blend it all seamlessly into this huge world.
And we can't forget the technical stuff that made it possible. GTA games have always pushed the limits of graphics, physics, AI, creating worlds that feel immersive and real.
They were always pushing what consoles and PCs could do, making these huge, detailed worlds that looked incredible for their time.
And that influenced countless other games, shaping the open world genre as we know it. Okay, now let's jump to a game that took a completely different approach to world building. Minecraft.
It might seem weird to talk about innovation in a game all about blocks, but that simplicity is exactly where Minecraft's brilliance lies.
Exactly. Minecraft breaks the world down to its most basic element, the block. And then you can rebuild that world however you want.
It's like digital Legos. Infinite possibilities, limited only by your imagination. Build anything you can dream up. Simple houses, massive castles, crazy contraptions, even perfect copies of real places.
And it's not just building stuff, it's about making experiences. People build adventure maps, mini-games, even working computers using the game's logic. The possibilities are endless.
And a big part of why it's so successful is that community and all the player-made content.
Yeah, players can create and share their own mods, which add new stuff, items, even whole new dimensions to the game. They can make custom skins, build maps to share, work together on huge projects online.
That open-endedness, that welcoming of creativity and collaboration, that's what's kept Minecraft going strong for so long. Proof that simple tools and a big imagination can go a long way.
And Mojang has been smart about nurturing that community, regular updates with new features and content, but they also give players the tools to make their own WN stuff and share it. It's a recipe for a game that lasts.
Now let's talk about a game that's famous for always changing things up. Fortnite. From its building system to its live events and ever-evolving world, Fortnite has really pushed what a live service game can be.
Yeah, that building mechanic is a great example of how a simple idea can change a whole genre, letting players build stuff in the middle of a fight. Added strategy and skill that no other battle royale had.
It wasn't just about aiming anymore, it was about mastering building. Building cover, outsmarting your opponents with ramps and walls, even using structures to get an advantage.
It was a brilliant move. It turned Fortnite into something more than just shooting. And that commitment to always evolving is another reason it's so big.
Always new seasons, new themes, map changes, weapons, even new ways to play. Keeps it fresh and exciting, even for people who've been playing forever. And then there are those live events, which are like a signature Fortnite thing.
Imagine you're playing and suddenly a huge meteor flies across the sky, crashes into the map, changes everything. Or a massive concert happens right in the game with a real artist performing for millions of players at the same time. These events aren't just cool to watch, they're shared experiences. They bring everyone together, create these memories that stick with you.
It's a great way to keep people engaged and make the game a big deal. And Fortnite has mastered it, turning those events into moments that go beyond just gaming. Okay, time to switch gears again. Let's talk about a game known for its story and world, The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt.
The Witcher 3 is all about choices and consequences. Your decisions actually matter, they lead to different outcomes. Not just for Geralt, the main character, but for the whole world.
It's not just picking dialogue options, it's about choices that change the story. The characters you meet, the politics of the world, you're not on rails, you're shaping the story as you play.
That level of control is rare, especially in games that usually have one set story. The Witcher 3 showed that games could have branching storylines, where your choices matter, making it feel personal and impactful.
And it's not just about the choices themselves, it's about how they're presented. The Witcher 3 doesn't shy away from complex issues, moral gray areas, and the harsh realities of a world torn apart by war and politics.
The characters are complex and flawed. The problems you face aren't simple good versus evil. And what happens because of your choices can be huge and unpredictable. It's a level of maturity you don't see often in games. And that's one reason why it's resonated with so many people.
And let's not forget how beautiful that world is. The environments are stunning, the characters are so well made, the attention to detail is crazy.
CD Projekt Red, the developers, they put everything into making that world feel real. It's a world you want to explore, to get lost in.
Last up on our innovation tour, let's look at Call of Duty and its huge impact on first-person shooters.
Call of Duty's success comes from two things: those awesome single-player campaigns and the super addictive multiplayer.
Yeah.
From World War II to modern day and even futuristic settings, Call of Duty always delivers. Intense action, memorable characters, and that polish it's known for.
And they've been innovative on both sides. In single player, they've pushed the boundaries of cinematic storytelling. It's almost like playing a Hollywood movie.
They've really nailed those heart-pounding, action-packed moments, whether you're storming a beach, fighting through a ruined city, or sneaking behind enemy lines.
And their multiplayer has been just as influential. They help make game modes like Team Deathmatch and Capture the Flag popular, and they're always coming up with new modes and features to keep things fresh.
The kill streaks, the perks, the way you can customize your class. Call of Duty's multiplayer is all about making it your own, competing, and being part of that community. It's kept people playing for over 20 years, and it's not slowing down.
And they're always willing to try new things, to adapt to how gaming is changing. That's why they've lasted so long.
Warzone, their free battle royale mode, is a great example. They took what makes Call of Duty fun, the action, the gunplay, the kill streaks, and put it into this huge open world. It was a bold move, and it worked, bringing in millions of new players and keeping Call of Duty right at the top of the gaming world.
So there you have it, a whirlwind tour of the innovations that shaped these five giants and shaped gaming itself. We've seen how they've changed storytelling, world building, online play, technology. They've left their mark and inspired countless other developers. But that's not the end of the story.
In the next part, we're going to explore their cultural impact, how they've affected our language, our fashion, our humor, even how we think about the world. Stay tuned.
All right, welcome back to our final part. We've talked about what makes these games tick, what makes them stand out, and now for the big question. How have these virtual worlds, crossed over into the real world, shaped our culture, left their mark on society?
It's wild, right? How games went from just being fun to being this cultural force. They're in our language, our clothes, our jokes, everywhere.
It's true. Think about those Fortnite dances, the floss, the orange justice, everyone was doing them. Schoolyards, stadiums, even on TV. It shows how these games capture what's happening right now and create trends that go way beyond just the game itself.
It's more than dances, too. It's memes, catchphrases, even fashion. Remember those Loot Llama shirts from Fortnite? Everyone had one. Or how GTA characters became memes instantly. It's like these games are part of how we talk to each other now, how we express ourselves.
It's crazy how these virtual worlds have such a real impact. But it's not just trends and memes, right? These games also make us think about bigger issues, social issues, violence, representation, technology, all of that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Take GTA, for example. People have praised it, A&D criticized it for its satire of American culture, the violence, the mature themes. It makes you think about stuff, about the world we live in. And it starts debates about entertainment, about what's okay to show in games.
Interesting. And then there's Minecraft, which is all about being creative and working together. And it's become this amazing tool for education, for social change even. I've heard about schools using it to teach kids coding, architecture, even about the environment. It's amazing how something that seems so simple can be used in so many ways.
It really shows how games can be more than just fun. They can teach us, let us express ourselves, connect us with others, even help make the world a better place.
That's a great point. But we got to be real, the impact isn't always good. We see concerns about addiction, especially with games like Fortnite. The constant updates, the competition, it can keep people playing for hours and hours.
Right, and there are worries about violence and aggression too, especially with games like GTA that have a lot of graphic stuff and mature themes. It's a tough issue, no easy solutions.
Definitely complex. But as games get more and more a part of our lives, more immersive, more influential, we have to talk about this stuff, the good and the bad.
For sure, we have to look at both sides, have honest discussions about how games are made, how we play them, what role they play in our society. It's all connected.
And we have to remember, these games are a reflection of us, of our culture, our choices. The future of gaming is in our hands. We have to shape it in a good way. So as we wrap up this whole deep dive, let's appreciate the journey we've been on. We explored GTA, Minecraft, Fortnite, The Witcher 3, Call of Duty. We saw what makes them work, what makes them different, and how much they've changed our culture.
We saw how they've pushed the limits of storytelling, technology, online play, blurred the lines between the game world and the real world, and left their mark on everything.
And with technology always moving forward, who knows what's next for gaming? What new worlds will be created? What stories will we experience? And how will those games change us, change how we live and work and connect with each other?
It's exciting, isn't it? Being a gamer right now, I can't wait to see what happens next.
Me neither. So next time you're playing your favorite game, take a minute to think about it, not just as entertainment, but as part of something bigger. These games are more than just pixels on a screen. They show our creativity, our cleverness, our shared human experience.
Keep playing, keep exploring, keep asking questions. The world of gaming is huge. It's always changing. There's always something new to find.
And that's a wrap for this deep dive. Hope you enjoyed exploring the world of popular games with us. Until next time, keep on gaming.